Alright, today we are going to be looking at the music of Mr. Hermeto Pesco, whatever his last name was. Did I say that right or wrong? Hermeto Pesco, whatever. Anyways, this Hermeto guy, we're going to be looking at some of his music today on ICA. Does it suck? Honey, it's better than what you're listening to right now, I'll guarantee it. It's not going to bring down the house, and it's not going to change your life. Truthfully, it's just a bunch of annoying, noise, bottles, flutes, and spitting in the creek. But honey, we're going to look at it together. Because this Hermeto guy is probably cooler than that band that you got tattooed across your butt right now. Let's take a look at this. It ain't that bad. And this is before AI, so honey, they're really in that creek. Let's look at this. But there is one part of this that I think is fake. Now, let's take a sniff of this Mr. Hermeto Pesco. Alright. Alright. This right here, before we begin, this musical art that you hear, well, I've got to say, that right there, that beginning sounded like the grandkids making annoying sounds in the kiddie pool, and you telling them over and over again to stop. But they just don't listen, they keep doing it. And then when their parents show up, it gets even worse because their parents don't do anything about it. And they're sitting there enduring all this noise that the grandkids are making, and they will not stop. And it's driving you insane. That's what it sounds like when that happens. And you tell them, you know what? You shouldn't do that because somebody might have, peed in that pool. When the truth is, they pissed at themselves and they know it and they still keep doing it. That's what that made me think of. Anyways, let's see some more of this. Okay, now we're blowing on like glass Coke bottles and Maker's Mark bottles and things like that. Now this guy in the middle is the Hermeto guy, I'm pretty sure. He's got like an array of bottles. Man, I hope they didn't just find them in the creek over there and just pick them up and start using them. I hope they've been properly sanitized. It's almost like he's trying to figure out which one smells worse than the other. Was that guy one of the Beatles? Oh my goodness. Mr. Hermeto, he looks a lot like Santa Claus. It makes me think maybe this is what Santa Claus does on his spare time in between, January and the beginning of March. He might be out hanging out with some band that he's created that nobody's ever heard of. And he thought, you know what? Now that the internet's out there, maybe it's time people heard this. Maybe this is a Santa Claus side project. Did you ever think about that? I do know one thing though. And this is sad but true, honey. Ever since I moved out of my parents' house, Santa Claus has never, not one time since then, come to see me. And honey, that's been about 30 years ago. Well, we're going to call it that long ago. Let's see some more of this. Maybe Santa Claus will remember me this time. Maybe he'll remember me this year when I see him at the mall. Now, let's see some more of this. Oh my goodness. Man, those guys sure can blow in them things good. Whenever I try to do something like that, it sounds like a misled bottle rocket. I think that guy was a Beatle. Okay, I don't really think he's playing this flute. I think this flute playing is a little bit fake. Maybe what you would call flute fakery. Oh my goodness. Yeah, something about this just don't seem right, man. I honestly think that somebody, hit the stand. I honestly think somebody like N. Anderson, from Jethro Tull, Jethro Tull's not a person. You know, you people think Pink Floyd's somebody, probably think Jethro Tull's a person too, but no. Ian Anderson was their good and amazing flute player in that group. I bet he come in there and dubbed over all this right here and did all that and recorded over it, and it's really him playing and not this guy behind me, Mr. Hermeto Claus. Don't you think? I bet this right here is an Ian Anderson overdub. I seriously doubt it was done by that kid in the high school. It's only been playing for a couple of years. I could be wrong, but I think it was done by a master. That is flute fakery, overdubbed by a master. Let's see some more of this. Yeah, that's flute fakery. They're waiting to come in on the bottles. Okay, that's not going to do that in real life. Okay, that was one of those little things like you hear in the old cartoons. They look like a bicycle pump, and you pull them, you know, back and forth like this, and I think you like blowing one in, it goes, you know, people like the Beach Boys and stuff use that kind of shit, man. I don't know, but that's what that was. That wasn't no flute. That is flute fakery. I think Tom and Jerry used one too. But you know what I'm talking about, man. It makes it like you pull this thing out and you blow it, and it makes it sound like something's going up and going down. That was in there. That was flute fakery. Overdubbed by Ian Anderson. Here, let's see some more of this. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I just thought of something else, man. Wait a minute. Let me get it better. Alright. I just thought of something else. That right there, that looks like Sammy Hagar when he's 100 years old. I just now thought of that, man. This Hermeto guy, you know, forget the whole Santa Claus image, man. This is what Sammy Hagar is going to look like when he's 100 years old. And he's going to be sitting around after they jam in this creek telling wild stories about him, heavy metal, and Van Halen. That's right. That looks like Sammy Hagar when he's 100 years old. And I bet some of these guys in the group have heard some of those Van Halen stories 1,000 times. Let's see some more of this. Yeah, that could pass for an old Sammy Hagar when he was 100 years old. That's how you get a better picture of him. Don't you think? I don't see why he's playing that flute when he could be doing some 5150, man. But anyways. Yeah. Santa Hagar. Sammy Claus. Anyways, there it was. Mr. Hermeto. What was his name? Pescola, whatever. Pesco, whatever. We're just going to call him Hermeto. Until next time, it's been your boy Igor. Take it, leave it, kiss my ass. There it was. I'm out. Yeah, that looks like Sammy Hagar, man. It really does.